Well, it's still locked down and it's pretty hard to find places to go where you can't find people. So we thought we'd go somewhere that most people don't go to, which is Basing House. It will be closed, the house, but it's one of the old first Tudor buildings that was fell to bits in 1642 when the Civil War happened. So all we have to do is find a spot to sit away from noise. It is, it's fantastic, isn't it? It is lovely. What was the name? I looked up the name of the river before I came back and now I've forgotten it. Key something. It sounded sort of like, actually these arches are rather good, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they're really old. It might tell you something about it. You know?
Oh, this is railway line, isn't it? Rail Authority. This is Victorian. But some of the buildings, this Tudor Basing House was the biggest Tudor house in the country before the Civil War, and a huge battle here. Thousands of Cavaliers and Roundheads died. So just see what it's about. From here you get your first view of the ruins of Basing House. In its heyday, the enormous mansion would have dominated the skyline. Basing House was home to the Paulets, one of the most powerful families in England, who were standing on the site of the old Grange farm. Interesting.
Oh, that provided fish behind us. That
huge
river.
mansion. Yeah, apparently there's huge. Is this what this is? The goldfish or the
Not
fish?
goldfish.
The fish.
Fish ponds.
So that's what
where
that was. You were just looking. This must have all been pond here then.
Yeah, well, it provided food, didn't it?
So I guess we'll head down here then, shall we? And keep walking till we find somewhere that's sittable.
Look at those lovely ducks.
Yeah, it's nice to be in nature again. The thing is, you don't. Lockdown has made us all go out a bit, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't think about going and sitting down by the river and having a picnic, or another picnic, and then another picnic, and a picnic on a roundabout, and a
that
picnic.
wasn't a roundabout,
and all the rest
in the
of it.
countryside.
Fish and chips in Siberia. I mean, it's made us sort of get away from restaurants and shops and cinemas and the
Everybody
rest.
needs time for reflection. Everybody needs time to have their own time, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how psychic, clairvoyant, mediumship or sensitive person, you just need to have me time.
I think it's nice to get out. Mind you saying that, what do you think about that Netflix programme last night?
What's this, Jeffrey Epstein? Well, I was going to bed thinking about it, and I was
What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein, yeah. Killed himself, didn't he?
Hung himself. Well, I was just thinking, Maxwell's daughter, who's the youngest one of 9 children he had, how could a woman go along like that and lure young girls in? Because I suppose young girls trust another woman and think nothing's going to happen, and he manipulated them. It's like he had so much money and he thought money talked, but his karma caught up with him in the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
Karma might take a few years, but eventually it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It does all go into the slot.
That Prince Andrew, though, I said they're going to sweep it under the carpet, and I think even with this programme, it'll still get swept and swept under the carpet. He'll never actually be brought to book. We haven't got to the bit about Prince Andrew yet on the programme, have you? But I bet that'll all be on it.
Well, he was disgraced
Bound to
in
be.
the royal family. But I hope...
Do you think he'll ever be brought to book?
Eventually. People think they get away with things, but they don't. But what I found quite intriguing was Maxwell's daughter disappeared. But I had a vision of seeing her on the ranch, and I saw horses running around, and I saw a ranch, and I felt that she was hiding her identity and changing. I even felt that she might have had a bit of plastic surgery done to hide her identity.
Do you?
Yeah, well, it's all about power, isn't it? And people super, super, super rich. We're talking about a billionaire. They can buy anything with money. Money talks.
Yeah. So that's what you kind of picked up from that then, isn't it?
Yeah, the FBI will find her.
Yeah.
Definitely. I saw a ranch, and the ranch that I saw is quite a remote ranch and I saw horses running around, and I saw quite still in luxury and everything, and I felt that she was going to change her image and have plastic surgery.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that comes about.
It will. Well, that definitely came about, didn't it? Wavering to move.
He was
Listening.
just sat there, stood there, watching us as we talking to each other, and just.
Who does that in a private conversation?
I mean, this is a private conversation between you and me and all the thousands of people watching this on YouTube. And he sits there.
Yeah.
Just.
I mean, talk about karma again.
He looks
Things.
a bit of a weirdo too.
I don't mind him. You know, talking about karma again, people think they get away with things like murderers and that, but they don't, because it does catch up with them. I mean, you can have all the money in the world and that, but I mean, this guy was
It
a
got you
predator.
that programme, didn't it? You enjoyed
Well, I'm
that.
gonna. It's not
I fell
enjoying
asleep.
it. It's shocking. How can you enjoy girls, vulnerable girls, being manipulated? And he done it like a pyramid system. Go and get your friends and come, because these girls were vulnerable, came from broken homes, runaways, and he was asking about their backgrounds. And that awful, awful woman with the poshy Oxford voice was pulling them in and saying, would you like to earn $200, which was a lot to these young girls, to give them massage? Do you want to train? And that. They're thinking they're going in doing aromatherapy and all massage. The moment they go in, they go to all luxury, and he tells them to take their clothes off. And I mean, can you imagine a 14-year-old? I mean, how shocking is that?
It was bloody terrible. What do you think is going to come out of all this? I mean, there's still things
Always
pending,
dreadful
isn't
things
there?
to come out more.
Yeah.
So. And I mean, all these cover-ups with judges, police, and everything, and people with money all come out. As my grandmother used to say, life attracts light. And
But
it's
it just
right.
goes to show the scale of it, doesn't it? I mean, that programme, even just watching the first part of
Filthy
it,
man.
I mean, the man had a whole
Do you know,
network.
I'd have liked to gone in with a handbag full of rocks, and I would have liked to have bashed him in the private, so he never use it again.
Yeah.
And I'd give him a massage, all
They
right?
seem to escape it by death, don't they? Like bloody Jimmy Savile too, you know. Escape it. They seem to escape justice, but they won't, because karma catches them. They'll be born into some terrible thing. But that's no recompense
It's
for
all
all those
people-
people's lives that have been destroyed.
Yeah, it was all about power and control, and
It is.
controlling
It's about.
the girls.
It's not about money.
And it was about
It's not about sex. It's about power.
power. It's all about power and
is.
control. It gives them a high, if you like.
And a lot of people in those sort of higher echelons of society think like that, don't they? Always have. I mean, this place behind us here, a Basing House, and that was corrupt in its time. You know, one person having vast amounts of money and control over everything.
Well, look about what's happened in lockdown, how everything's happened with this virus, and people have really, you know, it's like the plague let loose, isn't it? And then the world shuts down, and you get all the pollution stops. You see the lovely blue skies and everything, and then the next breath, you hear that China have discovered or made a new virus thing to help people
Vaccine,
with
yeah.
vaccine.
Yeah, but it's
And
convenient that China comes up with that vaccine, which is going to make an absolute fortune. Whoever
that's
comes
an-
up with the vaccine
Do
for
you know,
it
that's
will
another
make an
form of
absolute
control,
fortune.
isn't it?
Well,
That's
it
another
could-
form of
it could-
control.
the virus could have been a control thing itself on
Well,
the
even
world.
having a vaccine control.
Could have controlled the Hong Kong riots. Could have controlled the American economy.
Well, it's
you know,
like our economy. It's like lots of
Could have
people-
controlled the Chinese
it's
people
like
who are
people
also
have-
uprising.
People have lost their jobs and people's income, ordinary people, and most people haven't got savings because all their money goes out on bills, mortgages,
That's
children.
right to say, the few pay for the many. The few have all the money and the rest have very little. To an enormous degree.
And then
Enormous
all
degree.
these very wealthy people expect the taxpayer to bail them out.
Bail them out.
Disgusting, isn't it? So
So we're going back to the Epstein thing. Do you think that? I mean, I suppose he's been brought to justice and he killed himself.
He hasn't really been brought
But
to
you know
justice.
that doesn't feel right
He-
for the world.
No. When you go on over the other side and that, he will be accountable for his actions, like Jeffrey Epstein, definitely. And I think with Prince Andrew, you're a coward hiding behind royalty, a coward.
Yeah,
That's
he
what I
is.
see you. And why should you, because you're a royalty, think you should get away with it? I think you should be accounted for your actions, you filthy man going with young girls.
Well, allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, but listen,
Careful what you
there's
say.
no smoke
But-
without fire. What's a man like that going to a place like
Yeah.
that? I mean, you wouldn't get Prince Charles doing that,
Yeah.
would you?
No, I doubt it.
No, he's an
No.
honourable man. He cares about the
But-
environment.
Yeah. But do you
Yes,
think he'll
that's
get?
the
Do you
thing.
think they'll just be able to cover it up? Because I felt that he'll never come to justice. I just feel really strongly they'll never actually bring him to justice because of his status and because of that network of people that like to network with royalty. You know, all the rich and the famous, and so they'll all be tarred with the same brush if that happens, and probably are part of it.
Well, he's hidden away, isn't he?
So it's I don't think it will ever come. I don't think justice will ever be done.
Oh, it's more people coming now.
At least it's not that fat man. Oh no, here he comes back again. I'm going to turn it off now. But if you enjoyed that, do put your comments on here, please, because there's what do you think? You know, how do you think it will turn out? Has justice been done? Will it fat man again. Will it ever be done? And yeah, so you know, leave your comments here because it's interesting to hear what you think. I mean, we're still watching the Netflix program.
Yes.
So we're only just got through the first part, and I expect there'll be much more. But you know, put your comments and see what you have to say about it.
Yeah.
Do you feel as strongly as Jane does?
I do. I think it's disgusting doing young girls and going in innocent girls.
Well, everybody feels strong about that.
I
but
do. And
it
perhaps if I
quite upset you, didn't it?